Today is not a day for excuses. It is not a day to scroll, to complain, to wait. Today is a day to rebuild yourself from the ground up, from the inside out. No one is coming to do it for you. You are the architect, the engineer, the builder, and the material. Let your focus be on you every single day, without fail. Forget the noise. The world is loud with opinions, distractions, and empty promises. But none of it matters if you're not building you. Every second spent focused on someone else's journey is a second stolen from your own. Stop comparing, stop watching, start working. Your goals don't care how you feel. Discipline does not wait for motivation. Winners wake up and do the work regardless. You must build a version of yourself so strong that doubt has no place to land. So consistent that excuses can't keep up. So locked in that failure becomes fuel, not defeat. You have no business entertaining weakness. Not when your dreams are still undone. Not when there's a higher version of you still waiting to be unleashed. Every single day, commit to becoming sharper, smarter, stronger. Read the book, do the reps, build the skill. Master your time, protect your energy. Because when your focus is fully on you, your power multiplies. You stop leaking time on things that don't matter. You stop giving energy to people who don't deserve it. You stop chasing validation and start collecting victories. This is not about ego, it's about elevation. This is not about perfection, it's about progress. And progress only happens when your attention is locked on your mission. Every day you have a choice, build or break, grow or stay stagnant, focus or fade. So ask yourself, who are you building today? Or what brick will you lay? What weakness will you kill? What strength will you grow? Rebuilding yourself is not a one-time event. It is a daily war, a quiet grind, a lonely commitment. But if you stay locked in, the rewards are unmatched. Let the world sleep. Let the world talk. You're focused. You're building something no one can take from you, a rebuilt, relentless, unstoppable version of you. Now go or get to work. Your future self is watching. You are your greatest project. Rebuild yourself daily with purpose. That truth is unshakable. It's not motivational fluff. It's not a cute quote to post and forget. It's a mandate, a personal declaration. There will never be a task more important than the one of building yourself. Not your career, not your relationships, not your comfort. You, the quality of your life, your peace, your strength, all of it flows from the foundation you build within. Every single day you are either constructing the version of yourself you were born to become, or you're tearing it down through distraction, laziness, and doubt. Rebuilding yourself is not a one-time action. It's not something you do after a crisis or on a New Year's resolution list. It's daily. It's hourly. It's right now. You wake up and ask, what will I build in me today? Will I build discipline? Will I strengthen my mind? Will I become more focused, more dangerous, more in control? Too many people wait for life to change. They wait for perfect timing. They wait for motivation to strike like lightning. But life doesn't reward the waiters. It rewards the workers. You are not some helpless victim waiting to be saved. You are the builder. You are the sculptor. You are the one who determines what version of yourself rises each morning. Let others waste their days watching and talking. You move in silence and rebuild in the dark. While they scroll, you study. While they complain, you train. While they doubt, you do. That's the difference. That's the edge. The rebuild is not glamorous. It's gritty, lonely, and often thankless. But it's also powerful. Because every time you choose discipline over comfort, you lay a brick in the foundation of your future. Rebuilding yourself begins with responsibility. You stop blaming your past, your upbringing, your environment, your luck. Those things may explain where you started, but they do not decide where you go. You choose the habits. You choose what you feed your mind. You choose what you tolerate. Every choice becomes a tool or a weapon, either helping you build or letting the world break you down. Focus becomes your sharpest tool. When your attention is scattered, your energy is wasted. But when your mind is fixed on growth, improvement, and execution, you become a force. You stop caring about opinions that don't matter. You stop entertaining drama that doesn't pay. You stop following crowds that don't build. You make every action count. Every minute matters. Every move is deliberate. And here's the truth most people avoid. Rebuilding is painful. Growth always is. You'll have to outgrow people. You'll have to walk alone. You'll have to face your weaknesses and destroy them one by one. You'll have to rebuild your habits, your thoughts, your identity. You'll fail, you'll slip. But if you're locked in, if you don't quit, you come back stronger each time. Failure isn't the end, it's the beginning of the next level of you. No one can do this for you. They can cheer, they can doubt, they can watch, but the work, the real work, that's on you. You either suffer the pain of rebuilding daily or the pain of staying stuck. And one of those pains lasts a lifetime. So what are you waiting for? You have everything you need inside you. You have time, the same 24 hours as the giants before you. You have pain, use it as fuel. You have a dream, now you need the grind. Don't let a single day go by where you don't invest in your own greatness. Don't let comfort become your cage. Look in the mirror every morning and ask, what will I build today? Not what will I watch, not who will I impress, not what excuse will I feed myself, but what piece of my future will I construct with discipline, vision, and relentless action. Your mind is a tool, sharpen it. Your body is your machine, train it. Your soul is your compass, protect it. Your time is your currency, invest it. Your life is your legacy, build it. You don't need permission, you don't need perfect conditions, you just need to decide to rise with purpose, to attack each day like it matters, because it does. The world may not notice your grind today, but they will see your results tomorrow. And when that day comes, when the rebuilt version of you stands firm, focused, and unstoppable, you won't owe anyone thanks. You'll know who did it, you'll know who built it. You'll know who refused to quit, who showed up tired, who trained in silence, who studied while others slept, who stayed hungry long after others got comfortable. That's the power of rebuilding. That's the reward of focusing on you every single day. No compromise, no delay, no looking back. Now go do the work. You are your greatest project. Treat yourself like it. Silence the noise. The world's distractions are not your business. You weren't born to absorb every voice, every opinion, every trend thrown at you. You weren't designed to carry the weight of the world's noise while trying to build your own. Every second you lend your attention to distractions, you rob your future. You dilute your power. You scatter your energy. And energy is everything. Without it, you are unfocused, unproductive, and easily influenced. The truth is simple but hard for most to accept. If it doesn't serve your growth, it's not your concern. If it doesn't build you, don't touch it. If it doesn't move you forward, walk away. The world will always be loud. That won't change. The news will scream negativity. Social media will bait your insecurity. People will project their own failures onto your ambition. You'll hear doubt, fear, judgment, gossip constantly. But the disciplined mind learns to tune it out. The focused soul filters it, not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. You don't rise by being reactive. You rise by being intentional. You rise by protecting your mind like it's your last asset, because it is. Every minute you spend in someone else's business, you abandon your own. Every click that pulls you away from your path chips away at your greatness. Most people will never reach their potential not because they aren't capable, but because they're too distracted to ever build momentum. They chase everything and master nothing. They know every detail about celebrities, gossip, controversy, and trends, yet nothing about their purpose, their weaknesses, or their next move. That's the trap. That's the system designed to keep you average. You must rise above it. You must detach from the noise and reconnect with the mission, your mission. Because once you do, everything changes. Clarity returns. Power returns. You begin to hear your own voice again, the one drowned out by the chaos. That voice knows who you are. That voice knows where you're going. But you have to quiet the world to listen. Your focus is your weapon. In a distracted world, it's your competitive advantage. Most people won't sit alone with their thoughts for 5 minutes. They crave escape. You must be the one who leans into stillness. You must be the one who doesn't need constant stimulation. That's how mental strength is built. In silence, in discipline, in saying no 1,000 times so you can say yes to your goals. There will always be people who want to pull you into their drama, their chaos, their opinions, their low standards. You can't afford it. You're building something. You're rebuilding yourself. You're focused on growth, and growth requires full attention. You can't give your energy to everything. You must protect it like gold, because it is. It's the foundation of your discipline, your resilience, your results. Train yourself to be indifferent to distractions. Not cold, not cruel, just unshakably focused. You don't need to respond to every text, react to every post, or jump into every argument. You don't need to win every debate or prove yourself to people who don't even understand your vision. Silence is power. Being misunderstood is a price you pay for building something real. Some people will call you distant. Let them. Some will say you've changed. That's the point. Others will mock your discipline. Ignore them. They're not building what you're building. They don't know what it costs. They don't understand what it takes to protect peace in a world addicted to chaos. You are not obligated to carry the noise. You don't owe the world your constant reaction. You owe yourself results. You owe your future self the version of you that stayed focused when it was easier to be distracted. You owe your dream silence, the silence needed to plant, grow, and rise without interference. Distraction is a thief, and unlike other thieves, it doesn't break in. You invite it. You unlock the door every time you indulge in what doesn't matter. Every time you scroll mindlessly, argue pointlessly, compare needlessly, you trade your power for noise, and slowly, without even realizing it, you drift further from the life you were meant to create. But here's the truth. You can reclaim it right now. You can silence the world not by changing it, but by choosing better, choosing discipline over indulgence, choosing purpose over popularity, choosing focus over frenzy. That's how you take control. That's how you build something that lasts. You weren't born to be available to everything and everyone. You were born to create, to build, to rise. But you can't do that when your mind is constantly hijacked. You can't do that when you're busy consuming instead of constructing. You must protect your attention like a warrior protects the gate. Not everything gets in, not everything gets a response. So step back, get still, filter what matters, let go of the noise. And when you do, when your world becomes quieter, your vision gets louder, your path becomes clearer, your progress accelerates. Because nothing moves faster than a mind unburdened by distraction. The world's noise is not your business, your growth is. Stay locked in. Discipline is the bridge between your current self and your future self. You can dream all day. You can visualize success, speak affirmations, write down goals, even talk about ambition until your voice goes dry. But without discipline, none of it manifests. Discipline is the only thing that turns thought into action, action into results, and results into transformation. It is the daily choice to do what must be done, whether you feel like it or not. It is the consistent sacrifice of comfort in favor of growth. And without it, your potential stays locked inside, wasted, waiting, forgotten. Everyone wants the future version of themselves, stronger, wealthier, healthier, more focused, respected, unstoppable. But very few are willing to pay the price to become that person. That price is discipline, and it's paid in full, daily. There are no shortcuts, no cheat codes, no secret formulas. Discipline demands repetition. It demands that you show up when it's boring, when you're tired, when no one's watching, when motivation is gone, and all that's left is your decision. It's easy to stay in your current state. That takes nothing. Just exist. Just survive. Just keep doing what you've been doing, and you'll keep getting what you've been getting. But if you dare to demand more from yourself, if you're serious about the future you keep talking about, then discipline is not optional. It is non-negotiable. You can't skip it. You can't outsource it. You can't fake it. It reveals itself in your habits, your attitude, your ability to execute even under pressure. Discipline is what keeps you in motion when progress feels invisible. It's what separates the ones who try from the ones who become. It's the quiet power behind every champion, every leader, every person who ever changed their life from the inside out. Think about it. Your current self is built on your daily choices. The foods you eat, the thoughts you feed, the content you consume, the people you tolerate, the actions you repeat. Every day you're either building your future self or betraying it. There's no in-between. And every time you skip the hard thing, the workout, the reading, the deep work, the delayed gratification, you send a signal to your future, I'm not serious. But every time you keep a promise to yourself, even a small one, you build a brick, one more step on the bridge between who you are and who you're meant to be. And eventually, with enough bricks, you arrive. Not because you got lucky. Not because it was easy, but because you were disciplined enough to do the work, especially when it was hard. Discipline sharpens your character. It strengthens your mindset. It makes you dangerous in the best way. Dangerous to weakness, to mediocrity, to every lie you once believed about your limitations. The more disciplined you become, the less you tolerate excuses. You stop negotiating with yourself. You stop quitting when it's uncomfortable. You stop allowing your emotions to dictate your behavior. Because the truth is, your future self isn't waiting for motivation. It's waiting for action. It's waiting for the version of you who doesn't snooze the alarm, who doesn't fold under pressure, who doesn't need praise to push forward. That version of you is real, but only if you have the discipline to bring it to life. And no, discipline is not about perfection. You will fall. You will slip. You will have days where everything in you wants to run back to comfort. That's normal. But what's not acceptable is staying there. Discipline is not about never failing. It's about never staying down. It's about getting up, resetting, and returning to the plan without drama, without self-pity. Discipline turns chaos into order. It takes vague goals and carves them into tangible victories. It gives structure to your ambition. Without it, talent is wasted. Potential is forgotten. Ideas die. But with it, the impossible becomes routine. Ask yourself, how badly do you want it? Not in words, in action, in sacrifice, in proof. Are you willing to do what others avoid? Are you willing to grind when it's not exciting? Are you willing to delay pleasure, embrace discomfort, and walk alone if you must? Because that's what discipline demands. And that's why so few have it. But if you do, if you build it, feed it, and protect it, it will carry you across any obstacle. It will elevate you above your past. It will make you proud of the reflection in the mirror. Your future self is not found in a wish or a hope. It's built brick by brick with every disciplined action you take today. And if you want to meet that version of you, the stronger, wiser, more capable version, there is only one path: discipline every single day. Walk that path, build that bridge, and become the person you were always meant to be. Never outsource your self-worth. Validate yourself with results. That means stop waiting for applause. Stop looking for permission. Stop asking the world to tell you you're enough. Because as long as your value depends on someone else's opinion, you are not free. You are trapped in a cycle where your confidence rises and falls based on external noise. And that is no way to build a powerful life. Real self-worth doesn't come from compliments, likes, or approval. It comes from results. It comes from proving to yourself that you can set a goal, show up for it relentlessly, and execute, regardless of who's watching, supporting, or doubting. You want confidence? Earn it. You want respect? Build it. You want to feel powerful? Do the work that makes you powerful. No one else can give that to you, and no one else should. Your self-worth should be non-negotiable, untouchable, rooted in effort, consistency, and discipline, not in external validation that comes and goes with the wind. There's a trap people fall into, trying to look successful before they are successful, talking more than they're doing, posting more than they're progressing, trying to appear confident instead of becoming capable. And what they don't realize is that every second spent trying to impress others is a second lost that could have been spent building something real. Results don't lie. They speak louder than words, louder than praise, louder than opinions. When you validate yourself with results, you don't have to convince anyone. You show them. You don't have to explain your worth. It's in your work. You don't rely on the world's recognition because you're too focused on becoming undeniable. That's the difference between people who chase self-worth and those who create it. One waits to feel good enough. The other works until they are. And you know where that starts? It starts when you stop giving power to everyone else's voice. The world will always have something to say. Some will support you. Some will hate you. Most won't even notice you. But none of that matters if you are clear, focused, and relentless. When your self-worth is tied to your mission, not your mood, you become unstoppable. Your value is not found in opinions. It's found in your actions, in how you show up when no one's watching. In the days when it would have been easier to quit, but you didn't. In the discipline to keep building even when the results aren't instant. That's where pride is born. Not the pride of ego, but the pride of earned worth. And let's be clear. This is not about arrogance. It's not about thinking you're better than others. It's about refusing to think you're less than you actually are. It's about no longer looking outward for what you should be developing inward. You can't base your self-worth on things that change: attention, approval, relationship, status. You must anchor it in what you control: your mindset, your grind, your growth. Because when you outsource your self-worth, you hand over your power. You let people decide if you're enough, if you're valuable, if you're worthy of success. And most of them don't even know who they are. So why give them that power? You are the one who lives with your results, your effort, your truth. Let that be your proof. Let that be your source of confidence. Validate yourself with progress. Validate yourself with the fact that you're better than you were last year, last month, last week. Validate yourself with the fact that you show up even when it's hard. With the fact that you're becoming more disciplined, more focused, more locked in. That's what counts. That's the kind of proof no one can take from you. And if you're not where you want to be yet, good. That means you have space to grow, and real growth is the most powerful validation there is. Not surface-level praise, not approval, but deep internal proof that you are moving forward, that you are transforming, that you are becoming someone the old you couldn't even recognize. Start keeping promises to yourself. Start setting standards that scare you and rising to meet them. Start doing the hard things not because someone will notice, but because you notice. Because you are watching yourself every second of every day, and you know whether you're building or just pretending. The people who change their lives are the ones who stop outsourcing their worth. They stop explaining themselves. They stop seeking recognition. They go to work. They get quiet. They get focused. And when the results come, they don't brag. They just keep going, because for them, the work is the reward. So take the power back. Stop begging the world to make you feel worthy. You already are, but it's up to you to prove it, not to them, to yourself. Let your results be the loudest thing in the room. Let your work speak so clearly that you no longer need to. Because when your self-worth is built from the inside, validated by your own effort, and protected by discipline, you become untouchable. Build habits that serve the person you want to become, not the person you are now, not the person you used to be, the person you're becoming. The version of you that lives in alignment with discipline, focus, clarity, strength, and results. That version of you will never arrive if your daily habits serve your comfort instead of your calling. You can dream about transformation, talk about success, visualize change. But if your actions don't reflect the level of excellence required to become that version of yourself, then all you're doing is recycling frustration. You must understand this. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your habits. Every morning, every hour, you're casting a vote for who you are becoming. Every repetition is either building the person you were born to be or strengthening the identity you're supposed to outgrow. There is no neutral. There are no off days. You are either reinforcing weakness or reinforcing greatness. You can't create a powerful future while holding on to habits that keep you average. You can't expect the life of someone disciplined, focused, and resilient while living like someone who chases distraction, avoids discomfort, and seeks ease. That's the gap. And the only way to close that gap is to restructure your daily behaviors until they reflect the values and standards of the future you demand. Start with awareness. Who do you want to become? Be clear. Be honest. Does that version of you wake up late and waste the morning scrolling? Do they avoid the gym? Skip the hard work, complain, doubt themselves? No. The person you're becoming holds the line. They protect their time. They attack their goals. They do not make excuses because excuses don't serve the mission. And once you identify who you want to become, every habit must be filtered through that lens. Does this serve my future? If it doesn't, it goes. No compromise. That's how you begin to shift identity. Not by thinking about it, but by proving it with action. Every day, even in small things, you send a message to your mind: this is who I am now. You begin to operate from the identity of the person you're building, not the person you've been. Habits shape identity. Identity shapes behavior. Behavior builds results. And results, repeated long enough, shape reality. If your habits are undisciplined, your results will be scattered. If your habits are weak, your confidence will collapse under pressure. But if your habits are deliberate, strategic, and tied to who you are becoming, then momentum becomes your ally. You start winning days, then weeks, then months. And with time, that consistent momentum becomes unshakable power. People wait to feel motivated. They wait until they feel like changing. But high-level habits are not about emotion. They are about decision. You decide who you want to be, and then you build habits that prove it long before the results show up. You don't wait to become the person. You become the person by living as if you already are. Your habits are the rehearsal for your future. The more consistently you practice the life you want, the sooner that life becomes reality. This means sacrifice. This means letting go of what's familiar but unproductive. This means being okay with walking alone for a while, because not everyone is building what you're building. It means turning off distractions. It means being intentional with your energy. Not everything can stay. Not every habit is worth keeping. Not every comfort is worth indulging. You must trade what's easy now for what's extraordinary later. Track your patterns. Audit your routines. Pay attention to where your time goes, what you do with your mornings, how you respond to discomfort. The little things add up. Habits are built in quiet choices, not in big moments. They're shaped in what you tolerate, what you repeat, what you rationalize. Be ruthless about it. Because if you're not actively building empowering habits, you're passively reinforcing destructive ones. And when it gets hard, because it will, remember, the pain of discipline is temporary. The pain of regret is permanent. The struggle of forming strong habits is short-lived compared to the strength and freedom they create. Don't just focus on how hard something feels in the moment. Zoom out. Ask yourself, what will this habit give me in 1 year, in 5, in 10? That long-term perspective keeps you grounded when motivation disappears. The person you want to become is not built in a day, but they are built daily, in silence, in repetition, in focus. Each time you choose the hard thing over the easy thing, you strengthen the identity of someone who doesn't fold. Each time you follow through, even when no one is watching, you create a layer of self-respect that no praise or reward can match. So ask yourself every morning, what would the strongest version of me do today? And then do that, even when it's inconvenient, especially when it's inconvenient, because those are the moments that define your trajectory, not what you do when it's easy, but what you do when it's not. Build habits that reflect the life you want, not the life you're trying to escape. Don't settle for being a prisoner of old routines. You have the power to recreate yourself through the decisions you make today. Let your habits reflect your vision. Let them speak your future before you even get there. Because if your habits are aligned with your highest self, your success is no longer a matter of if. It becomes a matter of when. Focus is your weapon. Protect it like your life depends on it, because it does. Your future, your peace, your power, your potential, all of it is tied to your ability to direct your attention with purpose. In a world designed to steal it, fracture it, and feed it garbage, focus is not just a skill anymore, it's survival. It's what separates those who build empires from those who build excuses, those who finish what they start from those who just start everything and complete nothing. Focus is how the disciplined rise while the distracted stay stuck. It is the rarest currency in a time of noise and the most lethal edge for anyone serious about growth. Every goal you've ever had, every dream you've ever chased, requires one thing first: attention. If your attention is scattered, your energy is diluted. And if your energy is diluted, your results are weak. It doesn't matter how motivated you are, how talented you are, how big your vision is. If you can't protect your focus, you will never finish the mission. Distraction is the enemy. It doesn't have to destroy you all at once. It only needs to pull you 2% off course every day, and before you know it, you're miles from where you were meant to be. Focus requires intention. It's not something that just happens. You have to choose it. Every single day, every single hour. You have to defend it from the thieves, meaningless scrolling, toxic conversations, drama, gossip, negativity, laziness, shiny new ideas that serve as convenient detours from the real hard work. All of those things look harmless, but they're not. They're mental landmines. They blow up your discipline one distraction at a time. And once your focus is gone, it's not just the moment that's lost, it's the momentum. Your time is valuable, yes, but your attention is priceless. Whatever you give it to, you give your life to. Most people don't even realize they're in a battle, and they lose because they don't fight back. They open a phone to check one message and lose an hour. They open a tab to take a quick break and never return. They say yes to every demand and leave nothing for their purpose. And then they wonder why they feel empty, why they feel behind, why they never finish what they start. Focus is how you win. It's how you regain control. It's how you separate what matters from what doesn't. It's how you bring ideas into form, goals into results, and visions into reality. It is your inner weapon, sharpened by discipline, refined by silence, and protected by boundaries. You must become ruthless about guarding it. That means saying no more often. That means scheduling your priorities and sticking to them. That means designing your environment so it supports your attention, not sabotages it. You don't wait to feel focused. You create the conditions for it. And here's the truth. Focus doesn't feel glamorous. It's not exciting. It's repetition. It's solitude. It's saying no to 100 good things so you can say yes to one great thing. It's the discipline to keep your eyes on your lane while others are chasing trends. It's the power to finish what you started when motivation has left the building. It's not about multitasking. That's just disguised distraction. Focus is choosing one thing and giving it everything, fully, completely, until it's done. You won't always feel like doing it. That's fine, but do it anyway. Not every moment has to feel inspired. It just has to be locked in. This is where most people fall apart. They chase focus as a feeling, but focus is not a mood. It's a decision. And when you treat it like a non-negotiable, you'll be amazed at how much power returns to your life. With focus, you can do in 1 hour what most people do in 5. With focus, you can build clarity where others stay confused. With focus, you can build the life others only talk about. But you have to protect it. You have to train it. You have to value it enough to remove anything that weakens it, even if that means walking away from people, platforms, or patterns that you've gotten used to. Your mind is your command center. Whatever owns your focus owns your future. So choose wisely. Guard it fiercely. Use it like a sword. Cut through noise, through distraction, through doubt, through all the mental clutter that slows down your mission. Sharpen it every day by practicing discipline. Or don't open every notification. Don't jump to every impulse. Don't allow chaos to rule your schedule. Take your focus seriously. Build your day around it. Give it a purpose. Give it a target. Aim it with intensity. And watch how fast your results change. Watch how fast your confidence builds. Watch how fast you stop chasing and start leading. Because once you master your focus, you become a weapon. And nothing in your way stands a chance. Your time is your life. Invest it only where growth exists. Every second that passes is gone forever, and what you do with it is the clearest reflection of what you value. You don't get time back. You don't get to borrow more. And the harsh truth is that most people are not too busy. They're just too careless with their time. They hand it out like it's infinite, giving it away to distractions, to people who drain them, to tasks that lead nowhere, and to habits that serve nothing. If you truly understood how limited your time is, you'd stop wasting it on things that do not move you forward. Time is not something to manage. It's something to respect, because once it's spent, it becomes your legacy. The life you have right now is the direct result of how you've spent your time up until this moment. And the life you'll have in 5 years, it will come from what you choose to do with your time starting today. That's the bottom line. No one is going to hand you growth. No one is going to force you to evolve. That's your responsibility. And your time is the tool you use to fulfill it. Where you invest your time is where your life will go. So if you invest it in weakness, you'll live a weak life. If you invest it in distractions, you'll live a distracted life. If you invest it in people who do not build you, you'll live a life full of noise, not growth. But if you invest it in building discipline, sharpening your skills, protecting your peace, and pushing your potential, then you'll live a powerful life that reflects effort, not luck. This means making hard choices. It means looking at your schedule and asking, does this grow me or drain me? It means turning off the things that keep you stagnant. It means limiting access to your energy. It means getting real with yourself about what actually matters and cutting off everything else. No guilt, no hesitation. Because if something costs you your time without returning growth, it's theft, and you cannot afford to keep being robbed. Growth doesn't happen by accident. It requires intention. You don't stumble into improvement. You create it through discipline and focus. That means saying no to comfort and yes to challenge. That means trading hours of entertainment for hours of building. That means giving up temporary pleasure for permanent strength. This isn't about becoming rigid. It's about becoming aligned, about putting your time where your vision lives. And you must protect your time like your future depends on it, because it does. People will ask for it, distractions will beg for it, and your old habits will try to reclaim it. But you must be stronger. You must be clear on what deserves you. You must know that just because something is available doesn't mean it's valuable. Your time should never be spent on anything that does not feed your purpose, strengthen your mind, or elevate your path. There will be moments where you feel like nothing is happening, where your effort seems invisible, where it feels like you're investing and not seeing returns. But stay consistent. Time multiplies when it's aligned with purpose. What feels like small progress today will become massive momentum tomorrow if you stay locked in. Most people give up not because they ran out of time, but because they wasted so much they never built the patience to let their growth compound. There's a reason successful people protect their calendars. They know time is not a resource, it's the resource. You can recover from failure, from loss, even from mistakes, but you cannot recover wasted time, so use it wisely. Use it with strategy. Use it with intensity. Schedule the work, plan the growth. Structure your day in a way that reflects your highest standards, not your lowest impulses. Because how you spend your time is how you spend your life. Don't just fill your day, build it. Don't just stay busy, stay effective. Don't just react, decide. You have 24 hours each day. That's 1,440 minutes. What if you treated every one of them like an investment? What if every hour was a seed and every habit was a harvest? What kind of life would you be planting? Your life is not built by the big moments. It's built in the quiet daily choices of where you give your time, your energy, your attention. Choose growth. Choose progress. Choose the path that demands more from you, because that's the path that gives you more in return. You are not here to waste your time. You are here to build, to evolve, to leave no potential untouched. So from this moment forward, guard your time like it's gold, because it is. Give it only to what builds you. Invest it where growth exists. And watch how quickly your life begins to reflect the power of your priorities. Failure is feedback. Rebuild with greater strategy, not regret. There is no progress without pressure, no evolution without error. Every time you fall, it is not a signal to stop. It is a signal to adjust. But most people don't see it that way. They treat failure like a final verdict, when it's really just a message. Something was missing, something was misaligned, something needs to be improved. That's not weakness, that's wisdom waiting to be gained. But you only access that wisdom when you stop running from the fall and start studying it. Regret is the enemy of growth. It keeps you stuck in the past, obsessing over what should have happened instead of focusing on what you're going to do next. Strategy, on the other hand, looks forward. It collects the lessons, sharpens the approach, and builds a better plan. That's how you win. Not by being perfect, but by becoming precise. Not by being flawless, but by being ruthless about your learning curve. Every failure carries a blueprint. It shows you exactly where your structure cracked, and that's gold if you know how to read it. Was it poor preparation, weak discipline, the wrong timing, misaligned values, a lack of clarity? These aren't reasons to quit. They're instructions on how to rebuild. Stronger, smarter, sharper. The truth is, you can't fix what you refuse to face. You can't evolve if your ego won't let you admit where you broke. The world isn't asking you to be perfect. It's asking you to improve. And failure is the most powerful tool you have to do just that. There's no shame in failing. The shame is in repeating the same pattern and expecting a different result. The shame is in being more committed to your pride than your progress. If you failed, that means you tried, and most never even get that far. But the moment you fall is the moment the clock starts ticking. What you do next determines everything. Sit in regret and you'll rot. Step into strategy and you'll rise. Rebuilding isn't about starting over. It's about starting better. It's about taking what didn't work and using it as the foundation for what will. Too many people burn down everything when they fall, their confidence, their identity, their vision. Don't do that. Take what's useful and leave the rest. Cut what failed, but keep what made you courageous enough to try. Failure isn't your identity. It's just data. And data isn't emotional. It's directional.
Let it point you toward growth.
This mindset separates the average from the exceptional. Most people personalize failure. They attach it to who they are instead of what they did. And when you do that, it paralyzes you. You stop taking risks. You stop believing in your ability to improve. But the greats, they extract the lesson, fix the system, and run it again. Faster, tighter, more precise. That's how you build momentum from a breakdown. That's how you turn loss into leverage. You cannot rebuild with regret in your hands. You need strategy in your hands. You need clarity in your mind and hunger in your heart. You need the courage to revisit what broke and the discipline to design something stronger. Failure is not your enemy. Your fear of it is. If you fear it, you'll avoid effort. If you avoid effort, you'll avoid growth. And if you avoid growth, you will never taste fulfillment. That's not a life. That's a loop. Break it. Every champion, every builder, every leader has failed repeatedly. But they don't romanticize it. They use it. That's the difference. If failure doesn't fuel your next move, it will trap you in your last one. If you want to win, you need to stop replaying what went wrong and start rehearsing what you'll do right next time. Build the habit of analyzing without blaming, reflecting without spiraling, adjusting without overreacting. That's maturity. That's how you rebuild, not just quickly, but strategically. And here's the truth. Rebuilding is not glamorous. It's not loud. It's lonely, quiet, gritty. It happens in the hours where no one is watching. But those hours matter most because that's where the future is built, with every new decision, every small correction, every smarter plan, every layer of resilience you develop while no one is clapping. You're not here to impress people. You're here to improve yourself. And failure is part of that contract. So embrace it, not with celebration, but with clarity. Ask yourself, what broke? Why? What will I do differently next time? Then move. Don't wallow. Don't wait. Don't wish. Work. That's how you turn failure into fuel. That's how you take back control. Not by feeling sorry, but by getting smarter, sharper, stronger. This is your responsibility. No one is coming to fix you. No one is going to do the strategy work for you. That's yours to carry. And that's the good news, because that means your comeback is in your hands. You get to build what happens next. Just don't bring regret with you. Bring strategy, bring focus, bring execution. Failure is feedback. Treat it like a mentor, not a punishment. Let it shape your next step. Let it elevate your awareness. Let it sharpen your ambition. But above all, let it make you better. Every fall contains the code for your rise. Read it. Apply it. Rebuild with purpose. And don't stop until your results reflect everything you were capable of becoming. Success begins when you no longer wait for motivation. If you're still waiting for motivation to strike, you're already losing. Motivation is fleeting. It's unpredictable. It shows up when it wants to, not when you need it. It disappears when things get uncomfortable. And if you build your discipline, your habits, your future around waiting to feel like it, you'll never go far. Success is not born in the fire of inspiration. It's forged in the grind of consistency. It begins the moment you stop making your emotions the boss of your actions. Motivation is a mood, and moods are fragile. You can't trust them to carry your destiny. What you can trust is action. You can trust commitment. You can trust the system you build and the standard you keep, even when you're tired, unmotivated, uninspired. That's where success is born, in the decision to keep moving, not because you feel like it, but because you said you would. And if your word means something to you, your results will too. Waiting for motivation is just another way to procrastinate. It's the perfect disguise for fear, for laziness, for distraction. You convince yourself that you're just not ready yet, when the truth is you don't want it badly enough to do it without the dopamine hit. The people who win in life don't wait, they act. They train themselves to move regardless of feeling. They understand the difference between a temporary mood and a permanent mission. You think the top performers wake up motivated every day? They don't. But they've trained their minds to act on command. They don't need a reason to do what must be done. They don't chase emotional highs. They build systems. Systems that work even on the hard days, especially on the hard days. And because of that, they separate themselves from everyone who's still waiting to feel ready. Discipline is what replaces motivation when you stop being soft with yourself. Discipline shows up rain or shine It doesn't care how tired you are, how discouraged you feel, or what distractions are pulling at you. Discipline says we do this, period. And when you let discipline lead, results follow. It's not magic, it's math. Show up every day, do the work, sharpen the skill, stay in motion, you win. Eventually, always. The world doesn't reward intentions, it rewards execution. It rewards those who rise early, stay late, push through, and don't flinch when motivation runs out. Because it will run out. That's a guarantee. The question is, will you still show up when it's gone? Will you still hold the line? Will you still train, build, write, learn, grind without the emotional kick? If you can do that, you become unstoppable. Because now your progress doesn't depend on feelings, it depends on standards. Here's the truth. Motivation is helpful, but it's not necessary. It's a bonus, not a requirement. If it's there, great. Use it. But if it's not, you go anyway. You move anyway. You fight anyway. That mindset builds momentum. That mindset separates the people who fantasize about change from the ones who become it. Real success is boring. It's repetitive. It's 1,000 small, disciplined actions stacked on top of each other, day after day, week after week, year after year. It's waking up early when you don't want to, showing up to the gym when you're sore, sitting at your desk when your mind is scattered, saying no to distractions when everyone else says yes. That's where greatness is built, in the mundane, not in moments of inspiration, but in the relentless commitment to the process. You must rewire your relationship with action. Stop waiting to want to. Wanting is irrelevant. What matters is deciding. Success belongs to the people who move even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. That's what separates them. Not talent, not luck, not even knowledge. Just the raw, unshakable decision, I do what's required, no matter how I feel. And guess what happens when you move without motivation? Eventually, momentum shows up. Clarity shows up. Confidence shows up. You don't need to wait for motivation. You can earn it. You earn it by pushing through the resistance, by refusing to negotiate with weakness, by acting like the person you say you want to become, even on the days when you feel like the opposite. When you move first, motivation follows. Action creates energy. Discipline generates drive. Motion builds momentum. The very thing you're waiting for, it's waiting for you to move. You go first. That's the rule. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be present. On the field, in the arena, doing the work. You are not weak. You are not helpless. You are not a victim of your moods. You are capable of showing up without motivation. You are capable of pushing forward without a cheerleader. You are capable of building something remarkable with nothing more than the decision to not quit. That's what success is. It's not a mood. It's not a lucky break. It's not a perfect moment. It's a decision, repeated 1,000 times long after motivation has left the room. So stop waiting, get moving, show up every day without excuse, without negotiation, without delay, because success begins not when you're motivated, but when you're no longer waiting to be. Every day is a brick. Place it with intention or waste a day. Your life is not built overnight. It is not built in moments of inspiration or through bursts of energy. It is built one brick at a time, one decision, one action, one day at a time. Each morning when you open your eyes, you're handed a single brick. What you do with it is your choice. You can place it with care, discipline, and direction, or you can throw it aside, waste it in distraction, delay, and empty habits. But make no mistake, the way you place today's brick determines the shape of your future. Most people don't understand the weight of a single day. They think it's just another Tuesday. Just another morning, just another one-off. But days become patterns, and patterns become your life. You aren't skipping one day at the gym. You're laying the foundation of inconsistency. You aren't just hitting snooze once. You're telling your future self that comfort matters more than commitment. Every action you take is either construction or destruction. There is no neutral ground. Look around at the life you have today. It is the result of every brick you've placed so far. Every decision to show up or not, every moment you chose focus or distraction, every time you decided to act or procrastinate. What you've built is what you've earned, and if you don't like what you see, the answer isn't to complain. The answer is to become more intentional with the brick you're holding right now, today. There are no shortcuts to a life of excellence. There is no fast-forward button. Greatness doesn't arrive in a flood. It rises in slow, deliberate layers. It's not dramatic. It's quiet. It's unglamorous. It's early mornings, late nights, routines, sacrifice. It's choosing the hard thing again and again, not because you feel like it, but because it's right, because it's necessary, because you have a vision and a standard that refuse to be compromised. When you place your brick with intention, you move with clarity. You stop wasting time wondering what to do. You stop letting the world hijack your schedule. You stop saying yes to things that pull you away from your purpose. Your energy, your habits, your focus, they all line up behind the structure you're building. You don't chase distractions when you know you're laying the foundation for something that matters. And some days, yes, you'll feel tired, uninspired, confused. But that's exactly when the brick becomes the most powerful. When you place it anyway, when you get up anyway, when you follow through despite the resistance. That's how champions are built. That's how confidence is earned, not through words, but through the repeated decision to not quit, through showing up when quitting would be easier. Consistency is not just a word, it's the blueprint, it's the formula. And it's brutal because it demands everything from you. Focus when the world is noisy, effort when you're exhausted, courage when no one is clapping. But if you keep placing that brick, if you stay locked in on the mission, you will wake up one day surrounded by the walls of a life you built with your own hands. Solid, strong, and undeniable. But understand this, when you waste a day, you don't just lose time, you weaken your structure. You widen the gap between where you are and where you could be. You tell your mind that your goals can wait, that your growth isn't urgent, that average is acceptable, that is not harmless, that is not neutral, that is dangerous. So build with urgency. Build like your future depends on it, because it does. Don't let laziness disguise itself as rest. Don't let one missed day become a pattern. Hold yourself to a higher standard than that. Excellence is built in the little things, the decisions no one sees, the habits no one claps for. Lay your bricks with excellence even when no one is watching. There will be people who don't get it, who waste their own days and tell you to relax, who say you're too serious, too focused, too driven. Ignore them. They're not building what you're building. Let them talk. Let them coast. You've got bricks to lay, a structure to build, a legacy to create. Every day ask yourself, what am I building today? What am I reinforcing? Strength or weakness? Growth or decay? Am I moving closer to the life I claim to want or drifting further from it? The answers don't lie in your words. They lie in your actions, in what you do with this day, with this brick. So take it seriously. Hold that brick like it matters, because it does. Lay it with discipline, with clarity, with purpose. Because one day you'll either stand on top of something you're proud of, or stare at the empty space where your potential should have been. The life you want doesn't come later. It comes from what you do now. Brick by brick, day by day, intention by intention. So start building. You don't need a perfect plan to change your life. You need a single decision to treat each day as sacred, as vital, as non-negotiable. The future you dream of is not somewhere out there waiting to arrive. It's already within your grasp, quietly demanding your discipline, your effort, your focus, and that starts now, with this brick, this moment, this day. If you want a stronger body, a sharper mind, a wealthier life, a deeper sense of purpose, build it. Build it when no one sees you. Build it when you feel like quitting. Build it when it's boring, hard, and unglamorous, because one day you'll look around and realize you didn't just build habits or a routine. You built you, unshakable, relentless, proven, not because you talked about greatness, but because you placed each brick with full intention. That is how you rebuild yourself. That is how you win.